Pardon me?
We're liking this corner.
Oh, we like you in this corner too. Yeah.
But we're all just
That's nice.
so interesting.
That's good, yeah. Because this is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is good to be in the line of vision. There is something about the way in which the Akhandakara vritti appears to operate. Don't you think? Yeah. So, that's what it is. I almost brought Kathopanishad because I was in that vritti. I had to go upstairs and bring the correct book. Huh? Oh, it's okay. I think, we'll warm up with the teaching. Especially with this mantra that we are going to study. It's the ultimate. Yeah. Not frisbee. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Interestingly and not surprisingly, we have the same kind of things being discussed in both the Upanishads. What is the topic? Tea with Hiranyagarbha, the ultimate within samsara. This is what is being discussed. And it happens. The same mantra coalesced, avidyayam antare vartamanaha. One day after we studied it in this Upanishad, we encountered it there. This is the benefit of studying the Upanishads and the Gita, in this, through this infusion, like tea. Very strong, it's nice and strong. And, the tea bag dwells in the hot water. Yeah, hot water, is just, it releases all the essences. And so, remaining in the Upanishads, one encounters its vision, its essence, through many different pathways. Many different mantras, sometimes the same mantras, coming at the same time, which shows that there is some karmic reason for the people that are studying for all those things to just come together like that. There is something, it's planned by Bhagavan. This is part of why the teaching has nothing to do with either the student or the teacher. It is all just it's all just a beautiful flow that the teaching is taught. That's why we say it's Ashcharya, wonder. That it is absorbed is an even greater wonder, because There are so many nets, the nets that one puts up. Of course, when all other nets are gone, Yama's net is there. And so, like this, that the fact that the teaching is communicated is a great blessing. And so we have seen in both the Upanishads, we are at a very interesting point. And what is this point? The far shores of samsara. Where the jivas, like waves, are bobbing up and down only to come back. So even if you go have tea with Hiranyagarbha, it comes to an end. Yeah. Yes, tea party. Fine, tea parting. Yeah. And one cannot complain, because Hiranyagarbha also says, I am also temporary. My position is also temporary. I am just the overseer of samsara. And as long as you remain in samsara, I will also be here to oversee you. And I'm just here till the end of the kalpa. Then I'm gone. I also came here because of doing a one yajna too many and getting a little more punya here and there. All these celestial positions are punya vishesha. Punya vishesha shariram. A body that is crafted with, overdose of punya, lot of punya. Punya pradhana shariram. Pradhana means there is a predominance of punya. And what about papa pradhana shariram? What happens to that? Huh? Tiryak. Tiryak. Sideways growing things, unmoving things like plants, etc. They have feelings. They are intelligent. They sense people. When anybody comes with an axe, they SMS each other, murderer is coming. And all of them retreat, and they can, all those things have been measured. They have intelligence without a brain, they have feelings, all that. That Satchitananda is there. Unable to express, unable to defend themselves. Oak trees, unable to walk over and sit inside the class. Thank God. But it would destroy the house otherwise. Yeah. So, therefore, it is, so this is papa pradhana, when the papa is too much. The human being, of course, is a mix-up. Mishra. Everybody's last name should be Mishra. Mishra is a common last name in India, and it means a mixed up one. Mixed up of, in what way? Pun intended. Mixed up about the priorities in life, no doubt. That's what the Vedantin will clearly see in the name. But really speaking, Mishra refers to the, little bit of bapa, little bit of punya. Makes a confused human being. That's what it is. So we've seen how this, this desire to attain things, etc., is all within this rubric, within a certain bubble called samsara. And na atirichyate, it doesn't go beyond this, because even if you go to the farthest shore, what happens? Many unhappy returns. That's what happens. Yeah. One can come back. And then the question comes, I don't want to come back. What should I do to not come back? The problem is not with rebirth, really. Okay, if one is supposed to have another life, well, who can prevent it? Not even Bhagavan, because it's all directed by karma phala. The problem is not having a direction in the life and just going life after life. We are not interested, we are not worried about, I should never have the next life. That's, that's putting a lot of pressure on oneself, really. Even though that is, that is the phala, that is the phala means what? It is the truth of the teachings that really once you gain this, there is no need to come back. But we are not so much focused on the hereafter, because the rebirth always, then again we become no different from other traditions that are focused on the hereafter. Oh, I don't want rebirth, I don't want rebirth. What are you doing right now? Yeah. Right now are you committed? Right now are you in line with what you really want? Right now are you in alignment with where you're headed? That is more important for us. And so the connection between wanting the highest and best for myself and discovering what this best is, and that this best is not outside of myself, that is a big leap. It's a quantum leap that plummets one into the twilight zone of knowledge. Yeah. That leap has to be taken, and that leap is what is, you can say, goodies from the past, purva punya goodie bags coming and fructifying at a particular time where one is poised for this leap but afraid. The previous punya gives a little nudge and say, go on, yeah, go on, nothing will happen, go. You've fallen so many times, one more scratch, nothing will happen, go. I will have some ointment, don't worry. I will send a little first aid kit, don't worry, go. What is the worst thing that can happen? Yeah, how many lifetimes you've had, how many disappointments, how many things. This, you can handle this, go. In fact, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Jump. A little whisper in the ear. This is Purva Punya brought on, and then that Purva Punya has a pact with one's Shraddha. What is Shraddha? The reverence, the devotion that there is something here that I need to kind of, set in order. There is something here that I'm not seeing completely, but I sense that I would like to get to know more, that I'd like to have in my life, that I want to invite in my life. And I don't understand what it is, but I have the faith pending the understanding. I have the trust. Shraddha is nothing but trust. I have the trust that this is not going to mislead me. Why do I have the doubt that it will mislead me? Because I have been misled in the past. Starting with parents who make false promises. Yes, you can have a pony for your birthday. Yes, it can stay in the bedroom. And then what happens? No. Yeah. Anything they promise? No. That's what parents are for. To give vairagya. That's why everyone has parents. Because vairagya starts at a young age. When they say no for the first time, and especially after they say yes when they say no. Yeah. That pain is the first, jnanodaya of self-growth. So here, in this whole scenario of never-ending disappointments, I don't let that effect of this never-ending disappointments that I have experienced in my life overshadow this quest. This is what it is. All other quests it can overshadow. Still one kind of goes on. Even the most desperate person, unless they are psychologically really impaired, is able to hold a job. Grumblingly they will get up, grumblingly they will go to work, grumblingly they will come home, grumblingly they will cook, grumblingly they will go to bed. They are able to hold a job, and if they are clever somewhat, they will have a support group of other grumblers and feel, vindicated and manage to go on. They can hold a job. And even the most untrusting person can be, if not in one, but many relationships of various kinds, friends and significant others. They can have children, they can be parents, you know. They will hire a private detective for the child because they are not trusting, but certainly they can be they can be parents. So, but it doesn't, it comes in the way. Yes, they're not leading a full life because this trust issue is always in the back, cutting the very limb that they are sitting on and jeopardizing the meaningful things that they want in their life, their goals, their ambitions, the sadhana and sadhya in the relative empirical sense. But still nothing is lost. But when that lack of trust, born of a series of disappointments, and we are only talking of this life. Yeah, I mean, let's not even go anywhere else. This is enough.
Really.
This is more than enough. So, the mistrust born of the disappointments from this life, starting from the parents, and we have to start with the parents because where else will we go? Parents means caregivers also included. Either they smother or they other. They don't know how to mother. Many times. They don't know. They are also incapacitated. And sometimes the mistrust is passed on from generations like a important legacy. Yeah, like a heirloom. And it's guarded well also. Yeah, kept in the bank of the mind, in the vault. And that trust overshadows all of one's endeavors in life. This is not a small thing. This is a huge thing. If we understand this, this is enough. This is the truth. That trust overshadows every single endeavor in life. Still somehow one goes on. So, I'm okay. Yeah. But when we let it overshadow this quest for the truth of oneself, the loss is infinite. Because the loss of the infinite is an infinite loss. The loss of the finite can be made up because there are many finite things that one can pursue. And they are replaceable. The infinite being the only thing and being you is not replaceable by anything else. Oh, Satyam is not available. Will you settle for Mithya? This is not a restaurant. Oh, we are out of the, this particular, whatever you order. We are out of the soup. Can you have the salad instead? Oh, sure. All right. No problem. This is not replaceable. There is only one thing. And that it doesn't run out. What runs out is my own, hope has run out. And so I can't go for anything else. And so what is more than any qualifications that we are talking about when we talk about adhikaritvam, etc. And we all have this pat by now, shama, mental resolution, dhamma, physical resolution, I don't know what all they say, titiksha, forbearance, and and then what else? Uparati, letting go, And like this we have all these mumukshutvam, desire for freedom, samadhanam, all these things. We have it all here. We have the whole list, Yeah, Tattva Bodha list. Reiterated again by Atma Bodha and then by Aparokshanubhuti. All of them they give. Vedanta Dindima also. Yeah, you have to have this, you have that, you have that. This is not a stamp collection, I'm collecting, all these things. And then I'm showing off. Look at my Titiksha book. Look at my, Sadhana Chatushtayam book. It's not a collection. It's not like, putting so many feathers in one's cap. And Lord Krishna shows us one feather is enough. You don't need many feathers. That's why he has one single peacock feather. Peacock is wonderful. It's a great, it's the national bird of India. It's great. It's a great bird. What a bird. Amazing. And the feather, the colors, that iridescent colors in the feathers are really not there. Yeah. In fact, the peacock's tail is a big bore. Yeah. It's not that great. What makes it great is the shine. It's got some kind of a slickness to it, very fine, small hairs, and then the light, the play of the light makes it so like neon. You can never reproduce it in a painting. You can try, but never reproduce it. That's because it's the play of light. It's the way the light falls on that. So one feather in the cap is more than enough. Yeah, Krishna's feather. And that is what it symbolizes, Shraddha. Why does it symbolize Shraddha? Because it comes to light. It is there, it is discovered, it is plumbed, it is allowed to grow. And when it becomes evident, it shines. That's all it is. Shraddha is not developing trust. Nobody needs to develop it. Regaining the trust lost in the hood of the child. Yeah. The parents, it's not blaming the parents. Parents did their best. Their best may not have been good enough, and frequently it is not. Parents includes caregivers, foster parents, whoever they are. Their best is never good enough, but it's okay. They did the best they could, and it was not good enough. I have to, and this Shraddha regaining involves a certain use of one's volition, at least in initiating the path back. Shraddha, of course, is there. That's not based on will. It is discovered. It's there because it is discovered because it is there. What is based on will here is that I make myself available, a ready candidate to open myself to trust again. That is where the free will is there. I have to open myself to trust again. Despite the fear that I may fall flat on my face. And that the Shastra, like the parents, of course will serve only to disappoint. What else can it do? Because that's all I've known in my life. And the teacher wielding the Shastra is going to be a big bore. That teacher is also going to disappoint and further drive in the mistrust. And the feeling, the universal feeling is, I cannot afford this. I have been hurt too often, too long, too severely to retrace the steps back to myself. I have been hurt by people who have promised things, and moksha is also a promise. What else is it? Yeah. It's like the pony which you can keep in the bedroom. Yeah. Or the puppy that you never had, even though you were promised it repeatedly. Yes, you can have this. And then the parents don't even apologize. That's what they never said, I'm sorry, it was an error in judgment. That's what the child needs. The child needs a validation. But the parents say, well, that means that the child will just sit on top of my head if I apologize. And the definition of parent is never to apologize. Generally speaking. Not the modern parents. The modern parents are keeping saying sorry all the time. Yeah. They feel guilty because they go to work. Yeah, so it's all about saying sorry all the time. No, but the older generation of parents don't apologize. We say, what? What's your problem? Get over it. That's what they're going to say. You're disappointed, get over it. Come on, you really thought we are going to let you have a horse in your room? Be practical. Then why did you promise? Because you were throwing a tantrum. There was no other way to, bring you back from the holiday on the farm without promising the pony. This is what they will say. So this is just a small disappointment I just made up. But, like this, there are many. There's a whole litany of disappointments which become the defense mechanisms of the antakarana. They are the soldiers that you did not hire them. But nonetheless, they manage to come in your payroll. And they stand there with spears and shields in hand. And they say, we are your protectors. We are here for you. Nobody else is going to take care of you. Look at what the original caretakers did. Look at what they did. They left you high and dry, jaded and faded. We, on the other hand, we are your, confidants. We are the ones that are going to keep you okay. We are going to make sure that you're okay. And guess what? We are on your side. We are going to make sure that you never get hurt again. And this is all sounding music to the sad, bad, mad jiva's ears. The disappointed jivic ears buys this and puts them on the payroll. And then what happens is that this army, self-appointed army, even when you realize, oh my God, you're hurting me, you're not really helping because you're keeping me in a shell. I'm not able to go anywhere. I'm not able to lead my life. Every job ends in disappointment. Every relationship is ending in disappointment. You're not keeping me safe. You're keeping me enslaved. You're keeping me enslaved to this feeling that I can't take care of myself and that the whole world is a big bad wolf, that everywhere I go I'm just going to be eaten up. You're not keeping me safe. You're keeping me, what? Locked up in my own notions. You know what? I'm going to stop paying you. And they say, we don't care. We are here to stay. We are not going anywhere because we have made a habit of protecting you for so long. You don't even know what's good for you. And we are going to make sure that you are protected whether you like it or not, because we are now habituated to that role. So there is a whole defense mechanism that is a smoke screen that never lets the jiva gets close to anything in life. The jiva becomes a big, someone who is unable to commit. Someone who does a dalliance with everything. Cha-cha-cha with life. Flits from things to thing. Flits from place to place. And leaves it under the rubric of boredom. Yeah, I'm bored. I have to do something else now. It's not that one is saying that. It's that army that is saying, don't get too close to this. Because what if you really fail? What if you fail? Because everything else has been a big failure. What if you fail in this? Don't get too close. Get out now. Right? This is the time to pull out, get out now. But really, that caveat given by this defense mechanism of mistrust, an army of little mistrusting, inner children self-appointed themselves as the defenders of the ahankara's honor. Really speaking, we are not saying what if you fail. The real fear is what if I succeed. Ah, that's really what it is. What if this really works? We'll be out of a job. We'll be wrong saying that, that mistrust is the way to go, because that is what we have upheld. And the ahankara is paid them handsomely to protect. And when the ahankara is exposed to the shastra, thanks to some punya, the ahankara says, guys, I think I want you to liquidate. No way! We are here to stay. You liquidate. We are here to stay. And we are going to make sure that every class that you attend is going to end in disaster, and then we'll be right. And they do that. They do kind of silent, covert hijackings. They'll suddenly make something else appear so busy that you even forget that there was class. Oh, why? Who? What happened? Nobody knows. Hijack. Or some chronic ailment which was gone, which you thought was gone, which the jiva thought was gone, comes out. They manipulate the body. They manipulate the mind. They just sort of take into their confidence all the entire body mind sense complex, gears up to make sure that this jiva's non-commitment, dalliance with the universe and the shastra continues without really getting wet. Yeah, you just put the toe in and just do a little clockwise circle with a big toe, and then you do an anti-clockwise circle with the big toe, and then remove the foot out. Let it dry. And then again, another toe you put in. Make some ripples in the sea, in the ocean of the shastra, in this placid lake of knowledge. You make a few ripples come out. And again you go in. Enough. And everything cries and screams, enough, 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 because there is really no moksha. And even if there is, you think you are going to get it. Ha, ha, ha. You are not going to get it. And you are going to be even sorry, because the person sitting on your left is going to get it. The person sitting on your right is definitely going to get it. And you are going to be left high and dry. So better not even start. Oh, but I have already committed. It looks bad if I don't go to class. We'll just go to once a month, enough. Yeah. Or just go occasionally. No, but I do. Even regularly, that's scary. Even once a month is too regular. So go and then stop going for a while. And then go again. This is just a little upkeep. Yeah. A little inner maintenance. Tune up. Go for a tune up. And then come out. That's all. That's enough. And then it will mount a whole kind of mistrust, mounts a whole battalion of reasons. You have to be balanced in life. And it's going to ask, what do these Upanishads talk about? And plus Shankara Bhashya. Shankara only talks about sannyasa. He doesn't know anything else. The first word that he uttered was sannyasa. That was, all babies say gugu, gaga, amma, appa, and he said sannyasa. That is how he writes only about renunciation. And the mistrust asks, do you want to be a sannyasi? Oh, no. I want to enjoy life. What is this sannyasi sitting in one place? No, I don't want to do that. I want to go places. I want to do things. Okay, then this is not for you. No, but it says it is to have a sane life. Come on. What sane life? Are you insane now? No, I'm not insane. Okay then, shut up. You're fine. And once in a while, if you feel sad and, lonely, just go talk to a few people and attend a class once in a while. Get a tune up. Look good, and then get out. This is some antahkaranas behave like this. And others are ready to trust despite all the mistrust. Certain other jivas. As soon as the operation of the cataract is taking place, the person runs away from the operating table. With the cataract half removed and dangling and making the vision worse than when the cataract was already there. Jnananjana Shalakaya. And poor Guru with a scalpel in hand. Scalpel is the Shastra. With a scalpel, Upanishad scalpel in hand, wonders what happened. What happened? Here I thought we were doing an operation, and the patient, becomes impatient right then and there and takes off. Yeah, along with a gurney. They forgot to put the brakes. Wheels himself out, this jiva. Yes. And has a getaway car, The Ahankara sends a getaway car because you cannot really, hospital is very much like prison, You cannot check yourself out. You have to be checked out and you have to be checked in. It's kind of a total institution. Thankfully, ashrams are not like that. They are not like a penitentiary. That's why we call them zenitentiaries. Ashrams are not total institutions, at least Vedanta ashrams are not. They may behave like that, but they are not. They are not. Because everybody comes out of their own volition to study, and everybody comes because they feel like they have an individual issue that they need to resolve. They are convinced about it. But still, there is a certain discipline. There is a certain, way in which things proceed. Classes start at a certain time, they end at a certain time, and then, the commitment dries up only because mistrust is the vayu that dehydrates the commitment. Yes. Shoshayati makes it dried out. And in the middle of the operating table of this wonderful operation of the Mahavakya scalpel being wielded by the Guru leads to a botched up operation. Yeah. And with the cataract still flapping about, sometimes sudden vision because the wind makes the flap go up. Suddenly you see everything and say, oh, there it is. But then the flap comes down. Yeah. Flip flap, not flip flop. Flip flap. Half clarity, half commitment, half and half. This is what the problem is. And especially in the modern day of so many competing things, even competing bodies of knowledge, even competing arenas of spirituality. Each one says, I have this, I have the answer, I have, come to me, I have, look at my wares. It's like a spiritual fair. Somebody said, aren't you talking in, what is happening there now?
Oh, the country fair?
Country fair. Aren't you going to talk? I said, aren't you going to the country fair? I said, why should I go to country fair? No, you should go talk there. They have a spiritual booth. Yeah. Where they bring in people who, you've gone there?
I once.
Yeah, you went once? Yeah.
2 hours, yeah.
Yeah, you can give a presentation later.
And that's the only presentation.
So,
clothing is optional.
Clothing is optional?
Yes. Yes.
For the teachers?
Oh, well, for everyone.
For everyone. Oh, Namaha. Anyway, so, really?
Yes, it's quite an event.
Oh, so they said, so this person told me that, we should invite you to talk there. I didn't know about this clothing thing. Not that I would have gone had I known. But I just said, Namaha, this is okay. Because I've had that experience earlier when somebody called and said, would you like to talk? I said, sure. And then it got, so, "Oh, please come, we are having some international Hindu day or something." I said, "Okay. Would you like to talk? Shall we fix up a talk?" I said, "Okay, no problem." And that was, I just didn't think much of it. Then they said, "What should the size, of booth?" I said, "What? Booth?" I said, "Booth? Why am I talking in a booth?" No, because we have a spiritual wing in this. I didn't know it was a fair. I thought International Hindu Day. I thought it was something else. But it's a fair where they have all kinds of things. And there is a booth for every guru booths, where you can do your guru shopping on one side. Shop a guru. And then they said all these famous, Shri this one, and Shri that one, and Srimati this one and that one, and everybody is coming. And you should also, we will be giving you a booth. And you talk, and when people, I said, "What will I do sitting in the booth?" I said, "You must be crazy, you must be kidding." No. You can sit quietly and read a book. When you see people coming, then immediately you do whatever you do best. You have a little performance, whether you talk or dance or, sit in a yogic pose, whatever you do. When you see people coming, you get into the pose quickly. Oh, they have gone. Because how to ascertain if they have gone? Yeah. And then, this is the kind of thing, there is all these competing bodies and competing things and all these things, and then mistrust thrives in this competition and thinks that all, and is very beguiled by this statement, often heard statement, all paths lead to the same goal. And they will quote the Rig Veda. And they will quote Swami Vivekananda, "Ekam sat vipraha bahudha vadanti." That one sat is talked about in so many ways by the knowledgeable people. Yeah, they forget the vipraha. Knowledgeable people, they forget. Ekam sat bahudha vadanti. There's only one thing. And that one thing is that oneness. And if you just put your hands there, you can feel the oneness. You can feel, and you can make, and then this is one more, right? Parliament of Religions, which is a big booth. Yeah. And this is what I heard. This was a garden Vedantic class, some kind of Vedanta. Sense, half close your eyes, sense the oneness, and then what we are going to do is ball it up. We are going to ball up the oneness. Catch! This is Mahavakya Upadesha. Some kind of. They didn't say catch. I made that up. So you ball. Everybody has their own oneness. Okay? Yeah. So how many onenesses in the room? Many onenesses. Everybody has a piece of that oneness. And then you ball up that oneness. You pat it up. Give it a hug. Give it a hug. And then what? Make it go inside of you. I think playing catch is more fun. This sounds very forced. The body doesn't take very kindly to any invasive things. Even one injection people are scared of. What to talk of this big ball of oneness, invading this, body, mind, sense complex, which is already suffering from 2-3 autoimmune diseases, meaning it's attacking itself. So now it has oneness attack, and so you ball up this oneness, and then you push it in. And then you smooth it out. This is all I saw this. This is what I saw. This is just when I was walking in the garden, going from one place to another. They had a big courtyard where everybody could, do this. And it sounds very convincing. These are the people that gather crowds. Yeah. From time immemorial. Vedanta means 4 people max. Adi Shankara, Dakshinamurti. Yeah. But what kind of 4 people really prepared to trust again? That is what it's not the, It's not the numbers. Numbers do not make, numbers are not always make something right. And so these are the things, you push the oneness, smooth the oneness, inhale the oneness, exhale the duality. That's why you have two nostrils to exhale Dvaita. Yeah. And you exhale the duality, inhale the oneness, sense the oneness, feel the oneness. And then after you smooth out the oneness, the other exercise was turn to the person. Everybody is sitting in some kind of a circle. Turn to the person and feel their oneness and let them feel your oneness. Creepy. Yeah. Positively creepy. Yeah. Really. But this is what beguiles, because it keeps the defenses in place. The army of mistrust that one hired unknowingly through ajnanam at age 3 are very happy. They take a little day off. Yeah. They have a little day off from their deployment. They are sitting, playing cards and having chai. They are in place. But Vedanta, what has to happen is the dismantling of this mantle of distrust. Mistrust, when it becomes mistrust, Shraddha, feminine, yeah. that is what has to happen. Yeah. Mistrust is just mistrust, that's all it is. That disappointment is the definition of Jiva. Jiva is Ishvara plus disappointment. Ishvara dipped in disappointment is Jiva. That's all it is. Like a glaze. That's why the person has a glazed look. Always like, yeah, like a donut. You make, donut. Donut, is that what it's called? That thing with a little, the American vada. Yeah, that's sweet vada. Yeah. Savory vada is called bagel. Yeah. Sweet vada is donut. American vada. Bada vada. Yeah. Our vadas are small. Because if you eat such a big vada, that means you will not get up for 3 days. That much time is required. You need every energy to digest it. Yeah. There is something, this udad dal from which the vada is made. It's a very tagada dal. Tagada means it's got a, udad dal, you know that. Yeah. It is very difficult to digest on its own. And then you grind it. And then you fry it. That's why to digest you keep, you buy a kilo of peppers from the market and throw it in. You have to encounter at least 4 or 5 peppers in each vada. And you immediately swallow it, don't bite into it. They'll do their job inside. Yeah. You need a little, you need something to digest it. The pepper and the big pieces of ginger sometimes they put, it helps. But the sweet vada is also like that because it's also fried, this donut. And then they take a stick and then they drop it in a glaze. Yeah. So when it comes out of the fryer, it's Ishvara. Yes. Ishvara. And then what happens? This glaze, even though it looks nice and tastes good, that's why the taste of disappointment, sometimes it feels like, oh, see, I was right. There is a morbid satisfaction, at least in the beginning. The aftertaste is not good, but in the beginning it feels like it's a morbid satisfaction. So this Ishvara is dipped into the glaze of mistrust and disappointment. Glaze of disappointment sprinkled with some mistrust, and then that is sold. Yes. This is the sad thing. This is what is, this glaze. That's this glaze of ajnanam and anyatha jnanam. The glaze of disappointment, glaze of fear, glaze of mistrust is the separating factor between Ishvara and Ishvara. That is the thing. This is what it is. This is the whole thing. So, really speaking, if I have been able to understand this much, whatever has been spoken so far, then what do I, this vada that is dipped in disappointment, what do I have to do? It calls for the use of the free will in retracing the steps back to a place of innocence. Really. Not childishness, childlikeness. A willingness to entertain that innocence and a willingness to see the world as all benign. That's what the child does. It doesn't know any better. The child is just an embodiment of trust, especially when it's really small. Mother holds it, gives it to someone else, and it has to trust. That complete helplessness which the child feels is compensated by Bhagavan by giving it complete trust, because that's the only way it can survive. And if complete helplessness precedes complete trust, then the same thing is to be said about regaining that trust, is to discover the helplessness, discover that I'm not in charge, and neither is this riffraff army of defendants that I have not even appointed, that have, that are standing, guarding me from myself. That helplessness is not a place of weakness. That vulnerability is a place of strength. Because it shows the willingness, it shows the precursor to Shraddha, the willingness to be able to trust again. It shows that. And that vulnerability, where one is able to be led. That is what it is. The child is able to be led. Whoever carries it goes. Someone feeds it, someone else burps it, somebody else, it's like an assembly line of adults, each one doing something to the child. Yeah, somebody pats it to sleep, somebody puts it in the crib. This is how it is. And the child goes from lap to lap, from arm to arm. It is carried, it is held, it is dropped, it is held again, it's okay. That complete trust is a gift from Bhagavan for this child who is utterly helpless and unable to take care of itself. And that trust is broken, it has to be broken. Otherwise one is not able to lead the life empirically. It has to be broken. And that trust is broken, even by the best of parents, caregivers. And then it has to be regained. What a crazy setup, huh? What am I? Ishvara's reality TV channel or something? Giving Bhagavan entertainment as I flounder in the mistrust, and then I retrace my steps back to the trust. What is happening? This is samsara. This is what ajnanam is. This is how it is. Fortunately, it's all mithya. Shraddha is also mithya, you bet. Yeah, Shraddha is mithya. But then why do I need it? If I want Satyam, I don't need Shraddha. Put that army out of a job. This is not you talking, this is the army talking. Make that army disarm. Disarm the army and then disband the army. It's a two-step process. So, if I want to know Satyam, why do I need Mithya Shraddha? Well, Jnanam is also Mithya. Why? Because Jnanam is not given, it is you. Guru is Mithya, Shishya is Mithya, Vedas are Mithya. The body of, the written Upanishads, the whole Upanishads, they are all Mithya. They all come under what is called Apara. Then what is Para? Para is the vritti of the wholeness that makes it past those centuries. That is that. That is why the trust is needed. That's what it is. Para is the ball that falls into the goal despite the defensive, offensive goalkeepers of mistrust. That is what it is. It's the piece of Mahavakya. It's one Mahavakya. That just goes in somehow. Like somebody who's not able to. Sometimes there are these diseases, strange diseases. I met somebody who could not absorb anything except dal water. Watery dal. You cook the dal, you put 4 cups of water, cook it again, and then strain it in a muslin cloth. And then you sit it on the windowsill for half an hour, and whatever solids come down, you don't choose that. You just pour the liquid water in a cup and give it to them. 1 bowl of that he had for lunch, and another bowl of the rice kanji made in the same manner. That was his meal, because nothing else he could absorb. Figuratively, this is what is happening. Yeah, with Vedanta. That is why sometimes one feels frustrated that even though I have been studying, the knowledge is not taking place, and I am not able to absorb the nutrients of the Shastra, so to speak. That is why Shraddha is needed. Shraddha is that shot that I give myself to make myself more permeable. I help myself with that. And therefore, it really is where it makes it or breaks it. This is what it is. And therefore, here in this way, I have to come back to the childlike nature in my view of myself, because here the sentries don't stand guard and help me blame myself. There is mistrust in relation to myself and my pursuits too. So the child doesn't blame itself. The child doesn't blame others either. The child, of course, doesn't even know Mother, Father, Ishvara, etc. It doesn't blame, it just is. If it falls down, it cries. It gets up. And so this retracing back is a very auspicious event in one's life. It cannot be taken lightly. And once one has retraced the step back, it is such a sacred moment. There is no way you can go back again. It's the last U-turn, the last detour from the Hiranyagarbha tea party. Even though you feel you are going away, one is not going away. And that's why in India, when the river goes back to its source, it turns back, that place becomes a pilgrimage site. It is seen as a holy occurrence to see the bend in the river turning as though back to itself. And we pray to the devatas in the form of the river. Oh Mother Yamuna, oh Mother Ganga, whatever, whoever you are, Narmada, help me to take this turn. Help me to face myself. Oh, but there are so many demons. The demons are right there. That's true. We push the demons to the side and look past that. It's like looking into a dazzling mirror whose brightness is you. That's what it is. The Shastra is a mirror. The teacher is a mirror. That's what it is. So there's a lot of mirroring going on. This is how it is done. So if utter helplessness is the precursor to Shraddha, it's not that Vedanta is saying that you have to become helpless. Nobody is asking the student to become helpless. No. On the contrary. But the helplessness has a role. It's not to become helpless, but to discover the areas in which one feels that one has no say, including the area of knowing the self. Usually, the areas of helplessness are camouflaged by defense mechanisms, coping mechanisms, moping mechanisms. Yeah. It's just that the camouflage is removed. I'm no longer putting things under the rug. I'm no longer prettying up the surface to cover the yawning chasms of helplessness with a band-aid of being in charge. Even whether I allow it to show to the world or not, I become brave enough to see it. Ooh, that's very scary. How to even look at it? You have to take a peek every day. How? That's why we have to bring in Bhagavan. Because otherwise, visiting this yawning Grand Canyon of helplessness becomes a very scary endeavor. We bring in Bhagavan. We bring in Bhagavan as the author of this helplessness, as the areas that are created by Bhagavan, only all those areas where I feel like I can't do this. Perhaps when I first bring in Bhagavan to the equation, I'm angry with Bhagavan. Why did you make me so helpless? At age 3, age 4, age 5, I have all these markers in my life. And in fact, that itself is a prayer. In our tradition, there is no blasphemy in relating to Bhagavan. It's all prayer. How dare you do this to me? Prayer. Yeah. Prayer that takes off a layer. That's all it is. Yeah. And then the how dare you do this to me quietens. Largely due to Bhagavan not talking back. If Bhagavan said, did you know your last life? What all you did? Idiot. I've been kind to you. That's going to make the defenses worse. But Bhagavan just smiles and goes, okay. Whatever you say. Nice. And when Bhagavan doesn't talk back, it becomes therapy. It becomes therapy. Because what does the therapist do? Listen. Yeah. And you have to pay so much for 1 hour, although it's only 50 minutes. Here you just do some Naivedya and sit down. So cheap. Nothing you have to do. You just invoke Bhagavan in any way you know how. Any form. When you scream, shout, rave, rant, Bhagavan, licensed therapist, sits and listens. Yeah. Sits and listens. And smiles also, annoyingly. You don't feel like smiling. But Bhagavan is smiling. And you first feel like saying, I'm going to wipe that off your face. Let me tell you my sad story. And I'm going to make you angry. Just like as I made my parents angry. You see, this is mistrust talking. I'm going to test every little limit that you think you have. That you think you don't have. You say you are limitless. Let's put it to the test. I'm going to kick, yell, scream, have a tantrum. All that Bhagavan says, such a bhakta he is. He says to Lakshmi standing, yeah, look at this bhakta having feeling safe enough to have a tantrum right in front of me. And Lakshmi says, yes. I think I'll go and visit him and give him a little, boost, encouragement. Make him win a few $100 in the lottery this afternoon. Keep him going. Yeah, please go do that. Or the conversation can be between Shiva and Parvati. Parvati says, why they are behaving like this? You know, what is this some kind of dance that I don't know of? What is this fellow doing? No, he's angry, leave it be, it's all right. Just say a few words, just smooth it out. This is what it is. This is really, this is the best form of therapy, because you become the agent in your own healing, where the jiva becomes the agent of its healing, not subject to some expert somewhere. You are the expert. You are really in charge. Even when you say you are helpless, do you see that? Why Vedanta is not fostering helplessness? Because helplessness is not something that we are advocating. It's already there. You are helping yourself to discover it and own it up and see its various phases without fear, without terror, without tears, while holding the hand of Bhagavan. Yeah, come, let's both go and look, take a little peek. That's what it is. This is what is called ushering in the Daivam to shed the light on this helplessness, to embrace this helplessness, to own up this helplessness. And more about that we'll see after the break. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. I don't know what all came out, something. Yeah. We'll see.
Aruna says, beautiful, and Ramagiri, and she also namaste, and Ramagiri says namaste.
Yeah, Ramagiri is all pervasive. Ramagiri is here. Oh, volume is not turned on. Sorry, they cannot hear here.
Oh, there's 6 of them over here.
That's why. Okay.